Welcome to your Move in May. Today is a mobility day. If you have a yoga block or something similar, it might come in handy today. Otherwise, just roll out your mat and let's get started. To begin, we're going to come to a seat in a cross-legged position. Already the yoga block could come in handy here by just sitting yourself up on top and propping the hips up high. Otherwise, we can use it now for our arm on the bottom. So we're going to lower one forearm down to the floor, and you can rest again the arm on the block here if it doesn't fully reach. You can rest it all the way down and now take your opposite hand. You're going to reach it through the little hole you've created with the arm and the leg, and then push down through this bottom forearm and reach up to the sky in a twist. So we're going to bring some breath in here. So as you twist and reach, take an inhale and then exhale as you open up. All right, so just keep this movement going and reaching back as far as you can each time in the twist. And then when you open up, really push down into the forearm that's on the ground. All right, and then we'll do one more twist here. Rise your torso up, and then we'll just swap positions. And then again, you can use the block if you need here. Bringing the opposite forearm down to the floor. Now reach your other arm across, threading through that little hole you've created. And then stretch and open. Just find a nice steady pace here with movement. Working on finding a little bit more opening each time you reach up, and then a little bit more twist when you stretch through the body. All right, and we'll go for one more twist here. All right, then as we rise up, you're going to just come onto your knees then. So kneeling down, and then we'll bring your hands in front of you. So we're going to plant the hands all the way on the ground with the fingers spread as wide as possible. And then you can play around with how much weight is shifted into the hands. So we're going to come into the hands and wrists here. So get a nice little stretch through the forearms. And then what we're going to do is turn the elbows. So you're going to turn the elbows forward and then turn them backward. See if you can think about rotating the arms open and closed. And you'll start to feel this coming all the way up into the shoulders. So when you twist the front or the eye of the elbow forward, you'll feel a little wrapping sensation down through your lats, through the bottom of the outside of the shoulder blades. So just keep twisting and trying to find pressure through the pointer finger and thumb. So try to push that part of the hand down whilst you're twisting. And you're going to feel the biggest stretch when you push the fingers down and twist the eye of the elbows forward. And then just completing a couple more of these. All right, now you're going to sit back and take a bit more weight off of the hands because we're going to flip them so that the back of your hand now is down onto the ground. So still keep the fingers spread wide, and then we want to make sure we straighten the arms, so straighten the elbows. And then we're going to do the same thing of twisting the elbows forward and back, working on that sweeping around. So this one, you will tend to want to bend the elbows, but try to lengthen the arms as best as you can and reduce pressure on the wrist by sitting your weight back into your feet a bit more. All right, then we'll go ahead and sit back onto the feet. You can untuck the toes, and we're just going to give some wrist circles here into the hands and wrists for that matter. So just rotating them around. Maybe even just coming back and forth in flexion extension and just getting that bit more blood flow back into there. Okay, now you're gonna take the knees wide on your mat. So if you're on your mat, just about the width of the mat completely, and then just let the toes rest down to the floor. We're gonna walk the hands forward and then extend the arms out so you start to stretch and reach as far as you can while still keeping the elbows off the floor. So hands are spread wide. Now drop your chest down to the floor, or as close as you can toward the floor, while you're keeping the elbows lifted. And then we're going to round the spine, pulling the belly up and in, feeling that curl through the upper back, but still keeping the hips down, hands planted down. So the focus here is going to be on the spine movement. So drop the chest, start to open the shoulders, take an inhale, and then exhale, push around the spine, and then just keep this movement going. And then we'll move one more time. All right, so we'll stay on the knees. You might want to turn to go lengthwise on your mat. So we're gonna come down to one knee and then extend the other leg straight out to the side. So you can tuck the back toes under of your bent knee, but we're now gonna lower the same side forearm down as the bent knee. Okay, so we'll play around a little bit of how far you shift the weight forward so that you feel a little bit of a stretch into the straight leg. If your front arm doesn't forearm hit the mat, you can place the block underneath it as well. But now with your free hand, you're gonna open up the body, twist and reach, reaching up to the sky. And then with an exhale, we're gonna close this off, reaching through, again, the hole you created with your elbow and opposite knee. So inhale to open. Exhale to close. Good, same thing here. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more time to open. Now, with the lifted arm, you're gonna basically replace the bent arm with that lifted one. So you're gonna replace it on the floor, but we wanna shift our weight forward now a little bit more. So take a little bit more of a shift into the weight now in this bent arm. Just swap, and then we're gonna just switch positions. So now, the once with bent arm is now straight and twisting, and then you're gonna twist, reaching through the opposite arm and leg. So this one should feel a little bit harder to twist and open. Big inhale as you open up. Exhale as you twist and rotate. Inhale to open. And then one more time, rotate as you exhale. And then we'll come back up. Okay, so we're gonna swap legs. So straight leg becomes bent leg becomes straight leg. We'll sit back. And now once again, same side, bent knee, bent forearm onto the floor. Now free hand will open up, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, thread through. Inhale to open. Exhale, thread through. And then just keep making sure when you open, you're really pushing down through the forearm side at the same time. We want to feel that rotation through the spine, not just lifting the arm. All right, then we'll do our switch here. So shift your weight forward, replace the arm. So straight arms becomes bent, and bent arm becomes straight. And then we'll lift upward. Big inhale as you twist to the outside, and then thread through as you exhale. And one more time to open, then close. And we're coming back up. All right, so we're gonna stay in the knees. So place one knee down and then step forward with your other foot. We're gonna put a bit of pressure into the front knee with your hands and with your own body weight. So you just wanna push down ever so slightly to begin. And what we're gonna do is start to shift your knee over your toes as far as you can and giving a little bit more weight into that leg. So keep your whole heel down, your whole foot down. Feel the stretch coming up through the back side here, and then push the hips back. So weight into the leg, shift forward. Knees gonna come directly over top of the toes as far as you can stretch, and then pull back. So glide forward. Good, feel the stretch through the Achilles, back of the heel. And then we're obviously putting weight into the knee here. So you can add as much pressure as you feel like you can. And the more you put on there, you should feel a bit of the hip helping you out as well. Okay, so now that we've gone forward, next time you come forward, you're gonna shift a little bit inside. So like you're aiming for the big toe, but then dropping the knee inside and then push back. Be sure to keep your whole foot on the floor, but come forward at this angle over the big toe and then push back. So just don't let your foot roll. We want the movement to come through the shin, into the knee. All right, and then we're gonna put it all together now. So you're going to start at that angle, come forward in the angle. Now once we're shifted forward, you're gonna roll the knee back through center and then push back. So we're kind of creating this half circle here. So push inside, pull the knee through center whilst it's bent, and then come back. So you're making a little circular motion, completing about a half circle. All right, and then we'll come and complete one more before we then switch to the other side. So switch, bringing that knee down, the other forward. And once again, we'll begin by coming straight ahead, weight into the knee, weight into the thigh, bringing your weight straight forward, again, feeling that big stretch through the foot, back of the ankle here into the Achilles, and then we push back. Once again, make sure your whole foot is on the floor. And then if you can think about keeping even pressure throughout the whole foot and really pushing into the big toe joint, that's gonna feel more even pressure through the whole foot and a better sense of grounding. Okay, and we're gonna come forward again, straight over the toes one more time. And now we're gonna move into our diagonal. So same movement, but now just take it at an angle to the inside of the foot, toward the big toe side, and then push back. Once again, watch that position. Still keep firm contact of the whole foot on the floor. All right, we'll do one more like that, and then we're gonna add our circular motion here. Okay, so coming again forward into that diagonal. Now once we're weighted and bent, pull the knee back through center and then push backward. So inside the foot, roll the knee into the front and push back. This is super helpful for your ankle and knee health. So if this does feel like a challenge, there's a lot of pressure there, definitely something to keep on practicing and keep in your routine. One more here, and we'll push back. All right, then we're gonna come all the way up to standing. We're gonna switch to the other leg that we started with, and we are gonna add a little bit more weight and load into this one of what we were just doing. So a nice long stance. Your back foot will stay down the whole time at an angle. And now we're gonna push into our knee just like we were doing with that lunge forward. And so I want you to come forward, but we're going to create that circular motion that we were doing. So you'll come forward, drop the knee in, circle it around, and then pull back. So knee forward and in, come around the toes and push back. And you should really feel your hip also helping you now when you pull open, come around. So now that we're standing weighted a bit more, you can feel a lot more working with you. You can take a bigger circular motion, and you can play around with how far you can really go. All right, we're gonna do 2 more. So this one here, 1 more from there. All right, and then we'll switch sides. So same thing, coming forward in the knee, but coming to the inside, circling around, and then push back. Really pay attention to your foot now. Make sure you're having that pressure evenly through the foot the whole time. You're not rolling through the foot. You're rolling through the knee and the shin and the tibia. And then can you come in any further or any lower? All right, and we'll do this 1 more time. Excellent. Okay, we're coming back down to the floor again. We're just about there, but we're going to come back to a kneeling position. 1 foot up, 1 knee down. And now the same side of the foot that's up, that hand is going to come and reach down to the floor in front of you. This can be where the ball comes in handy as well, that you can hold on. Otherwise, fingertips to the floor here. Now press down through that hand. With an inhale, pull open, lifting your top hand and reach up to the sky, twisting. Then we're gonna thread through, reaching your left hand or your moving hand through the body here, and then open up again. So 1 more rotation now. We've been moving through the thoracic vertebrae quite a bit, and we're connecting it together now with our hips. So big inhale to open. All right, now we're gonna twist through 1 more time. And then as we're rising up, we're gonna lift the top hand, or think like the top hand is pulling us up, that we're going to open the body. As we open the body, you're going to push the hip forward, shifting as far as you can to the knee, and then stretch and twist as far open as you can. We'll come back, tip down, thread through. So we're just kind of adding all of our pieces together here. So inhale to open, pull the body up, shift forward into the front knee. See if you can twist a little bit further, but open, and then we'll push back and tip down. All right, thread through again. We're gonna do this 2 more times. All right, and our final one, threading through. Rise up, pull up, bend forward into the knee. We'll come back 1 more time. All right, so we're gonna swap this around the other side. Last final thing to do, so now you know where we're going with this one. So again, bent knee side, that hand now comes to the inside of your foot. And we're gonna open, stretching up, free hand to the sky. Thread through, open, inhale, reach. All right, we're gonna start our full movement then. So this next time as you come up, big inhale, now pull yourself upward. Arms come forward and back. Shift forward into the knee. See if you can open up a little bit more into the twist. Pull back again, tip down, and then thread through. Excellent. Keep moving here. We're just gonna do a couple more full combinations. All right, and we're gonna go through our final one. So big twist. Open, rise the torso upward, sink forward into the front knee and foot, twist open, pull back, and then we'll release. That's all you have to do for your mobility. Hope you're feeling a lot more open and twisty, but I'll see you tomorrow.